My name is Splendor Joe King, and this is my story. The visit to the Kuchingaro IDP camp for me was to see the people affected by the Boko Haram insurgency. When we got back home, I told my mom that I want to write a book about this.
All I could do is, as a parent, to still encourage her in what she wants to do.
I was still nervous about writing the book, and one day in school, I presented a poem, and my teacher was so impressed with it. She encouraged me, and that gave me more confidence, and started writing the book. At first, I didn't know what to call it, but after some time, I came up with the title, The Effects of Terrorism on Children. It was previewed by professors and approved by NERDC and Federal Ministry of Education.
I stand before you today to thank you for the wonderful response you have accorded the invitation to the launching of my book, titled Effects of Terrorism on Children.
At this juncture, I want our daughter, Splendor, to step out here for her to be crowned as NOAA Peace Ambassador.
I needed the voices of these children to be heard. I needed people to know what these children are suffering, how they're suffering in the IDP camps. I just needed them to know everything about these children. So I started campaigning. I started going to different offices just to let them know about how I feel. I would just want them to know that these children should be given a platform because they're the grassroots solution to the fight against terrorism. There are lots of things that children can see that adults won't see. So giving them a voice and allowing them to even be heard will be better enough to even fight against terrorism, because probably most of these children, while they're in the company of Boko Haram, they could have even seen a lot of things that could be the weakness of these terrorists.
I started a campaign on child education, on the dangers and effects of terrorism on children, and the need that children should be carried along in the fight against terrorism. This brought about my meetings with head of departments, agencies, parastatals, and diplomatic missions in Nigeria. As a result of this, I was invited as the youngest guest of honor during Ghana's 60th anniversary, where I presented a poem on Ghana. With these, speaking in summits and conferences became a regular thing for me, including security summits.
It was beautiful, it was delightful. After I heard the news I was going to speak at a security summit, I was like, okay, sure. When I climbed up on that stage and then I saw a lot of eyes looking at me, I was like, whoa, this is a lot. And I was quite scared. I was petrified at that moment. And then when I started talking, even though I was still scared, I was still nervous. However, when I started talking and I saw the faces of these men, of these army chiefs, and the way they were so interested in what I was saying, the way they were actually keen to listen to everything I was saying, I was like, sure, I'm going to go on with this. And from even their expressions about it, made me to have more confidence and made me to speak better and be more composed on stage.
Terrorism is a virus with grave consequences in our society, especially we, the young ones, whose future needs to be safeguarded. We must never underestimate the dangers of this virus on children, who constitute the most vulnerable group.
For me, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's more to come. I have more plans, and this is just the beginning.
I also have a dream for my foundation. I've always wanted to build a hospital and to also build schools for these children, because I feel like no child should be deprived of life or should just die anyhow because of ignorance or because of the fact that they can't pay their bills in the hospital. The Extraordinary is a program that is aired by me and my sister Treasure Joe King. The program is all about giving children, young Nigerian children, a voice to be heard of, because they do lots of positive things and they're not being encouraged. But this show, The Extraordinary, will give them a little encouragement and be like, you can do more. Even though you're doing good, what you're doing is good, you can still do more for your society. It's just all about giving these children a voice to be heard and encouraging them in the positive things they are doing, because I feel like the world only celebrates things that are bad, but this show will give them another perspective of life and give them another knowledge or another thing to think about life. The Mind Change Project is all about reforming the minds of people about how they think about the world, about how they think about everything around them. Because I hear people be like, it's Niger thing. I'm wondering, is it that at Nigerians we cannot be orderly? I don't understand what they mean by Niger thing. So I started this Mind Change Project with the IDPs because I feel like their minds need to be reformed about how they actually think about everything. Probably there's some kind of revenge that's still in them, or some kind of vengeance that they would want to have back on the country, or they would want to do against other people. It was a drawing contest, and while I was watching the children as they paint and as they draw, I saw different paintings of these children, how they illustrated the bomb blasts, the killings, and it was really, really touching, and it was very saddening at the same time. So practically, the Mind Change Project is just about reforming the minds of people about how they think about everything. Because if you actually want to deal with something, I feel like you have to deal with it from the mind. So changing the ideologies of everything is going to go a long way in this fight against terrorism.
This is something I know I cannot do alone, as a finger can only point, but a fistfold fingers can strike a mighty blow.
I need to achieve this by getting support from people, getting support from international organizations and from different people. I need people to collaborate with me and to support me in my dreams. From then to now, I've seen a lot of progress, a whole lot of progress. Because when I started it, I thought I was not going to move anywhere. I thought I was going to remain at one point. Over the years, I'm seeing a lot of changes. Because anytime I go back to school, I will hear different children calling me, even teachers and even parents, telling me that they would love to meet with me. They love my book. I keep encouraging them, and some people have even started writing their book because of the positive thing I've done. From that, it also brought me to what I call hashtag, and this thing started from children. They will just gather a group and then they'll be educating people. They've already read the book, The Effects of Terrorism on Children, and then they'll just be educating other people about how they feel about terrorism, educating them and telling them they shouldn't join bad gangs and they should avoid any form of terrorism. So from then to now, I have seen a lot of progress.
I believe there's more we can do as a country. If we sit and fold our hands without doing anything, then there will be no leaders for tomorrow. The effects of terrorism on children is a darkness that will cover the sight of potential leaders of tomorrow. But I have a vision that by 2050, the world would be terror-free. If you will join me on my campaign of Operation One Child, One Book, orientate the children on the dangers and effects of terrorism, because I believe prevention is better than cure.